Hold on, did you all see that video? If not, get some popcorn now. What began as a birthday celebration evolved into a hip-hop fight club edition of A Fall in Love, when Remy Ma and Claressa Shields engaged in what witnesses are describing as the most brutal altercation. Rooney, a Bronx battle rap queen who is now a tabloid headliner, and Claressa, a two-time Olympic gold medalist who is now a reality TV chaos agent, were involved in the year's biggest celebrity brawl, and yes, it was all about Papoose. What could possibly go wrong when these two are vying for the same? What are their hidden threats to leaded DNS, the backstage confrontations we never anticipated, and most importantly, was this battle months in the making, or was it just a wild outburst that occurred in the same room that night with so many camera phones pointed at them? As these two women attempt to knock each other into next week, why was Papoose simply standing there with a red velvet cupcake? Well, buckle on, because the footage is crazy, the receipts are scandalous, and the drama it's causing in West Virginia is better than court TV during the day. We knew things were ugly, and we knew Remy Ma had been giving side-A energy ever since. Claressa Shields began hovering around Papoose like a Hallmark movie villain with a boxing license. However, this is one exposure you do not want to miss. Nobody expected Remy to throw hands at a VIP event with influencers, TV cameras, and a full dessert table. Yes, you read correctly. Grammy-nominated Grammy-winning artist Remy Smith, a parent who loves her son, a former jailbird, and a motivational speaker, got into what was intended to be a low-key private party for Papoose's latest business endeavor turned into a straight-up brawl with Claressa the Girl Shields at a posh Detroit lounge. Translation: his soft launch with Claressa has gone entirely off the rails. Let's go back a little. Once hip-hop royalty Abrams, Papoose and Remy Ma's love story was nurtured in studio sessions, conjugal visits, and bit ciphers. However, things began to fall apart the moment Claressa entered the conversation. In fact, her entrance on the remix of one of Papoose's songs last year got people talking, whispering, and when she nonchalantly shared a photo of herself sparring with Pap shirtless, glistening, holding pads, as if they were engaged, it was over. Remy initially tried to act cool, even liking some of Claressa's posts and occasionally using the fire emoji, but insiders know that was all a facade. Our anonymous stylist source claims that Remy had already been planning behind the scenes, and that she had hired a private investigator in December after observing Papoose grinning excessively in the group chat. Yes, it's always the group chat, and although Pap insisted that Claressa was merely a friend who helped him keep in shape, that didn't account for the private workouts, the overnight recuperation ice baths, or the $8,000 Rolex he unintentionally gave her. However, Remy is traditional and doesn't do dirty back, and Claressa, on the other hand, arrived composed in a diamond-studded boxing robe and heels, sipping Casamigos like it. She also performs pull-ups, and she performed them straight into the exclusive location in Detroit while dressed entirely in black, as if she were filming a diss track. The phrase "husband" stung harder than a left hook, so let's pause right here. Technically, Remy and Papoose haven't confirmed a divorce, so while Papoose has been for licking, was Juice Sis was unconcerned until Remy burst in screaming. One source who was at the event and claims they were only there to DJ claims that the instant Remy walked in, the atmosphere shifted and even the LED lights began to turn on. They were surrounded by Claressa as if they were the new Jay and Bey, and Remy still perceives herself as the wife rather than the ex, glowing as if the venue could sense the mayhem. And then, at the last second, Remy approached Claressa, looked her in the face, and said, "Keep smiling, champ. After tonight, baby, you're going to be drinking through a straw." That's when Claressa stood up, heels off, robe tossed, Vaseline already in her bag just in case the room went silent. Even Papoose looked like he needed to reboot, one witness said. He whispered, "I just wanted to drop a mixtape, man," before retreating into the photo booth like Homer in the weeds. Then, without warning, Remy struck Claressa in the shoulder with her purse, which was purported to be a $4,000 luxury clutch. That was all it took for Belle to start a one-round fight. This generation doesn't stop disaster, they tape it. Claressa surged at Remy Duck and the audience, but they didn't react because it seemed like everyone was too busy filming for their Instagram stories. The clip was grainy and came from multiple perspectives. Someone even captured it in cinematic style. Remy allegedly got his nails pulled and broken at one point as she said, "You can't have him, he's mine." Claressa responded, "Girl, he ain't even answering your texts." Claressa lunged for a bottle of champagne, but she blocked it with a cake platter. Then, as if on cue, security arrived, but the guards were also Claressa's cousins, so they essentially created a protective circle around her and dared to try again. Papoose, bless his puzzled soul, attempted to mediate the situation by stepping between them while carrying a cupcake with a candle inside and murmuring, "Can we just talk?" However, a panic party member unintentionally bumped him in the ribs while holding crab legs. You can't make this stuff up. That was only the beginning, though, for what followed would ignite the internet, cause a great deal of anger, and even lead 2 local Detroit council members to ask for a citywide celebrity. The crowd dispersed like roaches as soon as the security team created the cousin-powered phalanx around Claressa. When the lights came on, phones were in the air, and someone yelled, "Yo, world star. Behavior review, yes, it's that deep. Let's speak about the aftermath." In just 23 minutes, #RemisClaressa was the most popular topic on Twitter, TikTok, and even Club Penguin's Ghost servers. The video was so cinematic that we were talking about slow-motion hair flips and live overhead shots. Comments from inebriated visitors: "It seems that Ebo made a surprise pay-per-view." An anonymous partygoer, who currently has 2, posted one footage. 3 mature men are holding Remy back in a Fashion Nova deal with 4 million followers. Claressa can be heard giggling as she adjusts her ponytail and drinks from a champagne flute, as if she's making a video, while shouting, "I verified this man's career and you think he done leave me for a rookie with gloves." Real Housewives of Toledo promo, but wait, it gets better. As the videos became viral, so did the receipts. A few hours later, a claimed leaked text thread revealed by a burner account dubbed it Boxer Barbie Tier appeared, showing what seemed to be Papoose chatting. The internet became a digital crime scene, and fans were shocked when Claressa said things like, "I need peace not pain, you're the calm in my storm, she's still using my Netflix password but I changed the lodging last week." Before someone leaked the voice note purportedly of Remy telling a friend, "She thinks she got him, but she only got him until I feel like taking him back." Investigators went to enhance screenshots by focusing in on nail shapes that matched timestamps. This was prescient and pitying. Remember the notorious Sheather track, in which she viciously attacked Nicki Minaj, so it's not surprising that Remy carried the same energy into a room where someone was supposedly spending time with her. Remy isn't new to this either. Time with her still legal spouse, but Claressa has changed. According to a widely shared post, Remy forgot that Claressa fought for her country, not for influence. That woman has platinum patience and golden fists. Speaking of fists, a guest was released. Security video from the side entrance showed Claressa throwing what appeared to be a clean uppercut into the air after Remy ducked. Remy missed as well, but the dedication was perfect by this point. By now, everyone was weighing in, from boxing blogs to Wendy Williams fan pages. Shade Room published the Even Jake Paul shared a still showing Remy aiming a stiletto in Claressa's room with the comment, "From the ring to the lounge, it's on." Remy Ma and Claressa Shields, the main stars, exchange blows with Papoose, who is left carrying cake and remorse. Responded to X's tweet that said, "Claressa's got that jab, Remy better chill, I smell a celebrity boxing match, who trying to promote this?" However, the real tea came when Claressa shared a now-deleted Instagram story a few hours after the caption said, "I told him I don't fight over no man, but I will respond when disrespected, know the difference #bothered #," and it featured her sitting in a row with an ice pack on her shoulder while composedly mouthing the lyrics to Summer Walker's Karma. However, the Remy Hive 1 fan page was still down. Ray's camp, on the other hand, went completely silent. There were no tweets or posts, just one crypt egg story with a black screen, a white heart, and the words loyalty over everything. Claressa was always jealous, 10 clues Remy should have swung sooner. Receipts Within is a 9-minute conspiracy explanation on YouTube. Lil Kim even reposted a meme that had Remy dressed as a character from Mortal Kombat, with the caption, "Choose your fighter Bronx edition." Wait until you hear what was actually happening behind the scenes at the venue if you thought that was messy. According to our exclusive source, a barman who was fired for reportedly offering Remy too many shots of Casamigos, the Remy cornered Claressa and muttered, "You smiling a lot for someone about to lose their veneers." The altercation didn't start in the lounge, rather, it started in the hallway behind the restrooms. Claressa reportedly stayed serene, but when Remy bumped into her shoulder while leaving, muttering, "I'd give you 6 months before he's back home," security noticed and attempted to break them up, but it was too late because by the time they arrived, Remy was still strolling about the Bronx with a bad attitude and her hair tied back like it was in 2005 when they returned to the main event area. A local bakery even shared on Facebook that the cake was ruined in the altercation, saying, "We spent 13 hours making that. We're upset, but you know who wasn't? Claressa's PR team." They started spinning the $5,000 Remy and Pap-themed buttercream masterpiece right away. It had edible gold and chocolate boxing gloves. They fought next to it, and someone knocked it into a speaker. Claressa is reportedly down, but Ray's team answered with a one-word lawsuit. "Yeah, it's getting legal now." The story also hinted at a possible Remy Ma versus Claressa Shields celebrity charity boxing event. Her team initially asserted that she was emotionally agitated and that the venue personnel should have been wise enough to invite both women to the same event. This is where things start to get really dodgy. According to an anonymous insider, Papoose planned the entire event to increase interest in his next project. It seems that he had been considering a reality TV show pilot that would feature him, Claressa, and Remy in a love triangle plot. The title, In the Ring of Love, has heartlines and punchlines that, if accurate, would suggest this. The entire catastrophe wasn't completely unplanned, it was planned. However, if that's the case, someone neglected to inform Remy because the swing wasn't acting. It was a decade of anger, betrayal, and fiery rage wrapped in a 5-inch stiletto, and the public was split more than ever. The comment sections turned into battlegrounds, with Team Remy proclaiming her the only authentic person in the group, Team Claressa claiming she didn't swing first, and Team Papoose primarily consisting of memes of him looking perplexed while clutching that lone cupcake and muttering, "I just wanted to release a mixtape." You can already tell there would be fire with this amount of smoke because, if you thought the fight was done, you're mistaken. That was only the first round. What happened following the party would send shockwaves through the just when you thought the night couldn't get much worse. The Detroit Police Department arrived at the lounge 45 minutes late and 5 punches short. By that time, Remy had already stormed out. The industry causes legal confusion and even makes Ray's probation officer trend on Google. Claressa was reportedly cooling off in the VIP hooker room after allegedly knocking over a plate of shrimp skewers through the kitchen exit, as if she hadn't just gone 12 rounds with the rap icon. However, the damage was done, and the internet wasn't forgiving. Several news outlets covered the Papoose's love triangle blows up in Detroit, and security blames the bad lighting complex. Remy may be breaking probation after a brawl in the lounge. The story, with headlines like "Gloves Off of versus Claressa Shields," concludes with a blood cake and dashed dreams atmosphere. A source close to Remy's camp told Page 6 that she was really embarrassed by the confrontation and regretted allowing her emotions to rule her, but another insider denied that, stating that Remy's lawyers were on full damage control the next morning. Claressa's team submitted a formal complaint charging assault with intent to harm, citing video footage, witness testimony, and a broken acrylic nail that wounded her eyelid. According to legal experts, this could potentially land Remy in hot water once more. Let's not forget that she was imprisoned for about 7 years due to a shooting event in 2007. Despite her efforts to reposition herself as a responsible adult and Black excellence entrepreneur, she has been flinging hands at a lounge over a man who struggles with freestyles. Her PR staff needed a return story, but hold on, it gets deeper because the next Monday, Papoose himself went live on Instagram, looking like he hadn't slept for 72 hours, with a sweatshirt on the background and dark, shiny eyes. What did he say? Oh, the most Papoose thing ever, something I never wanted. He went on to say, quote, "I still adore Remy, but I feel passionately for Claressa. I'm stuck in the middle. I'm not perfect, but I am. I wanted peace, I wanted music, I wanted my ladies to coexist. Sir, you wanted a cipher, not a cage match. Let's be honest, actual The last webcast, the UDACIT, attracted 1.3 million views in less than 10 minutes, not because people felt sorry for him but rather because the comment section became a hunger he's hugging that cupcake like it's his last remaining masculinity. And even Fat Joe joined into the melee and called for cultural peace. Games bro, you can't handle one mixtape, and you attempted managing two queens, blink twice if you're scared of both of them. However, he unintentionally revealed during a live session with DJ Envy that Papoose may have been living with Claressa for the previous 3 months, which just proved what fans already knew. Pap was playing both sides. Remy discovered that clip and purportedly shared a story of her old mug photo on social media with the phrase, "Shay hands I got history, let's see who the judge listens to." The tension was palpable over the Wi-Fi, and although Claressa remained silent, her manager let in a very measured statement. Ms. Shields states that she is focused on her training career and legacy. She does not use violence until authorized by a boxing commission, but she is entitled to self-defense. She is professional, clean, and has adequate shade to block out the light. In light of the now viral lounge brawl, the Michigan State Athletic Board issued a statement stating that it is investigating possible unlicensed combative behavior. In other words, if you fight and you're a pro boxer, it can legally be considered the use of a weapon. So yes, Claressa might also be subject to disciplinary action. Now, let's talk endorsement deals. Ray's partnership with a high-end wig company put a halt to Claressa's next campaign with a significant sportswear company, allegedly on VH1 claimed that Papoose's reality show concept was too toxic for their brand. This is the network that introduced us to Miami's hip-hop and love scene. Then, get ready, someone leaked security camera footage from the lounge, and you can hear a woman shouting, "I have bars," regardless of whether she has belts. Glass breaking and what sounds like a man whispering, "Don't hit her face, it's still healing," are heard after that. Internet investigators examine the audio like a pirated Taylor Swift album. Some claim that you can even hear Papoose humming Alphabetical Slaughter in the background. It's unclear if this is a coping strategy or nervous energy, but the most bizarre aspect is that Remy was supposedly supposed to appear on the Charlemagne, reportedly cancelled the taping of Breakfast Club that same week when security discovered a potential retaliatory scheme involving boxing gloves being sent to the studio beforehand. Although no one has confirmed it yet, sources claim the gloves were bedazzled and embroidered with a wifey. A coincidence you choose? Now let's zoom out. This whole thing is about more than just Remy and Claressa. It's about ego, the legacy of love triangles, and the reality that two strong women are compelled to participate in a pitiful plot for entertainment. Public opinion is now changing, with some fans speculating that perhaps Remy lost her temper since no one valued her position, while others contend that the indecision of a bewildered rapper could result in someone's wig and future being stolen. It was Ray's insecurities that ignited the argument, but it's obvious that the internet has taken sides and that this quarrel has become a movement. The hashtags #TeamerCut, #Bronx are wild. Claressa didn't provoke anything, she just existed. We don't sure what will happen next. Would Remy file charges? Will Claressa file a defamation lawsuit? Or will Papoose release a diss track directed at himself? But we do know that this battle has completely changed everything. #Populispic #note over cupcake trouble. Alliances have been destroyed, reputations have been damaged, and Papoose is apparently residing with a relative in Jersey until things settle down. Woo, did he all make it through that? If you're still alive after this degree of heartache, secondhand disgrace, and viral turmoil, then wow. For what a mixtape, a situationship, a man who still rhymes loyalty with royalty in every sentence. We just witnessed an Olympic winner and a bronze rap legend convert a nightclub into WrestleMania over a man carrying a $3 cupcake. You deserve a round of applause and perhaps a helmet. Somebody check on that man. Actually, no, someone check his iCloud because there must be more. Let's face it, Papoose may be the calm in the storm, but he is the storm. He managed to fumble two queens, smash a $5,000 cake, and yet play like the victim. Now, we'll turn to you, the actual investigators, the keyboard warriors, the dubious detectives of Twitter and TikTok. What do you think about Remy Ma? Did she go too far? Did Claressa play it cool? Or is she the true bad guy in boxing gloves? Most importantly, you guys always know better than the FBI, so share your theories in the comments section if you think Papoose should be prohibited from hosting events for the remainder of 2025. If you want more exclusive tea, there will be dramatic breakdowns and scandalous stories that will make you clutch your pearls. And consider the decisions you've made in life. Make sure you subscribe and smash that bell more forcefully than Clarissa Duck did with that clutch. This was the Gossip Spill vibe. Drama is constantly intense, and the information is rather optional. See you in the upcoming expose.